I think most comic book fans know how important these cartoons and these shorts were to the overall history, not just of Superman, but of superheroes in cartoons, period. But before watching any of these shorts, I would recommend watching something about the history of them and the influence they've had on our present day cartoons. Because I watched some history things of after watching a few of them, and it never really occurred to me how big of an impact these shorts had on a show like Batman the Animated Series. But after I knew that, watching the shorts, I really started looking at the artwork and the animation and just thinking about what they looked like, the voices, the impact they had, the history of them, and I appreciated them more because then you just really get an understanding of, oh, if we didn't have these shorts, we wouldn't have some of the greatest DC and superhero shows like Batman the Animated Series. And I definitely recommend checking them out. Yes, for the history. Yes, for the animation. But they're just really interesting to watch and to think about how far we've come, because these shorts, about half of them are like mad scientists or, otherworldly creatures like from within the earth, or from space. And then the other half has to deal with war and spies. It's a lot more wartime type of shorts. But I definitely think these are intriguing. They're neat to look at, and they still hold up today. I mean, granted, we've come really far since these first came out, but they still look amazing. They still are really well done. It is a little distracting, I will say, from time to time to see them change over time, because I feel like they don't exactly come out, or they don't exactly show them on the Blu-ray in order, because one minute Superman's jumping and the next minute he's flying, which is where the idea of him flying came from these shorts. And just how much, like I said, just how big an impact these cartoons and these shorts alone had on Superman. So nowadays they might not be the greatest thing ever, but like I said, they still look amazing. The stories are still well done. The voices are still fantastic, and Lois is a great character here. I definitely recommend checking these out.